Good morning, virtual villagers, and welcome to the second part of my star-shaped Christmas wreath demo. Um, we did the first part, making the actual base of our wreath a couple of weeks ago, and today I'm going to show you how to reuse and recycle old Christmas decorations in various different ways to make a new, a new piece. Um, I am I have got your able to get your comments today. So please say hello, give me a wave, tell me where you are, what you're doing. The weather's a bit brighter here today. It's actually starting to get a bit nicer. So yes, right. So last time I was with you, we made our star-shaped wreath. It's made out of garden canes wired together, and then the greenery I've used is rescued from a old Christmas tree that is was going to get thrown into landfill. So although we're using a lot of plastic in these demonstrations, it is rescued plastic. So it would have been thrown away if we hadn't rescued it, and we're going to reuse it. So that is quite a nice thing to do this Christmas. And we all have old baubles, or too many baubles in my case. I have enough to do about 16 different trees. So what we're going to be using today, we're going to need our base. I've got various Christmassy coloured ribbons. I've got my wires, green florist wire. I've got some stronger cake maker's wire, that's paper covered. I've also got some little reels of very thin wire that I'm using up. I have had them for ages. I'm just trying to see where I've put them now. I've had them for ages, so I thought I would use them up in this demo. What else have I got here? I've got a whole collection of used up baubles. I've got a few of these kind of plastic, I think they call them picks. My mum was a florist and always called them picks. Things we can pull apart and reuse. I've got some string, that's jute twine. I've also got a nice somewhere reel of this jute ribbon. I don't know where I've put it now. Oh, it's there. So I've got a big reel of this. It's like a linen effect ribbon, so that's nice. What else have I got? Oh yeah, scissors and pliers for cutting the wire, and my glue gun. Most of the decorations I'm going to use on my wreath, I'm going to wire in, but some I might need to glue together a little bit as well. So wiring just keeps it a bit more secure. Right, so I think that's everything. I don't know where my little reels of wire have gone. I've also got some spare glue sticks in here. I need to get a little bit more organised. Right. Okay, so I'm just going to point the camera down so you can see my work surface. Bear with me a second. There we go. Make sure that's secure. Don't want you going flying off. Okay, so that's our wreath, and I've decided to go, as you can see, with this basket here with red and gold. The other thing, a few things I did purchase because we are doing a big display in our village halls. Yeah, this is these are berries. There's gold and silver and red in there, so I have got a few of those. Although I probably won't use them today because I'm going to reuse and recycle as much as I can. Right, so let's see what we've got in here. We've got our jute ribbon, so I'll show you how to tie a bow and I'll show you how to wire a bow. And I'm going to do it in the jute and in some red. I've got one of these are quite good. They're for your Christmas tree, but they're quite useful for doing a bit of quick decoration on your wreath base because you can just wrap them round and round. And and I have various different little decorations. So I've got some baubles, I've got a big bell, and I've got a bell that rings. In fact, I've got two bells that ring. That's like a jingle bell. And that's more like proper bell. A few of these little ones that look like presents. Got very nice. These were all donated by people in my village because we're doing the reuse, recycle in the village. They've given us, people have donated a lot of old Christmas decorations. That's quite nice. That little, let me see, a little fairy. So I'm going to use that on my room. So, right, we'll get started. Now our star is 5-pointed, so we want to really, I'm quite obsessive about getting things so they match. So what I was planning to do was use the ribbons on the points of the stars. So I've made the jute ribbon. I've also made a red one, so I might put them together like that. So I'll show you how I made the bows. We start with the jute, and I used a piece about 11 inches. Cut the ribbon off. It's very easy to do this. It's easier than tying the bows. I'm going to use this very fine red wire I've had for a long time. You can use florist wire, but as this has been hanging about in my craft box, and I know every crafter has one of those boxes, I thought I would use it up. Basically, you cross over the two ends and get them to the length you want them to be. Then it creates a loop there. You pull that forward and then you just pinch it, making sure your two sides are even, and wrap your way around. And that's it. And then you can just, that's your bow. Simple as that. And they are very pretty. Now, you can tie a bow. I'm going to show you how to tie a bow now. I'm going to use a longer piece of the ribbon because I'm never quite sure how much I need. Now, the way I do it is this. I form two loops that are even length like that, and then I take those two loops and I tie them in a knot. Now, you may wonder why you do it this way rather than the traditional way of tying a bow. And the reason I do it this way is because it means for some reason, both of your two downward ribbons point in the same direction, and they don't point one up and one down. And then you would just adjust it until you got it how you wanted it, and then you'd cut that end off to match. So that's the way of tying a bow. But as I say, for this purpose, wiring them is much preferred, just because it's easier. So I'm going to wire up a red one as well. This is the last of this red ribbon, so there's a little bit there that I might find a job for. And again, I've got my wire, so I'm going to cross over the ends. I'm going to make the ends slightly longer with this one because the wire's floppier. The ribbon's floppier, I mean. It makes a tighter bow. And then wrap my wire around, and that's it. Now, what I need, I said I was wanting to put one on every point. I have some I made earlier, but I need 5 then, don't I? So I've got 4 of the Hessian, I've got 3 of the red, so I'm going to run out the red ribbon. I'm going to find another red ribbon in my little bag of ribbons here. We'll use this one. I think this one's probably come off packaging. What's that bit there? There's another bit there of the same one. So you know when you get sort of ribbons around boxes of chocolates and various toiletries, you know, sometimes even like towels and that come with a ribbon on. I save all those ribbons and I use them for jobs like this. So I'm just going to very quickly, it's a bit floppier this ribbon than the other, make up another couple of ribbons, and we'll show you then how I'm going to attach them. Lost the end of my wire now. There it is. Now I'm using pliers to cut this up, but you don't have to. You can, this wire is quite thin. You can use scissors, as long as they're not your good scissors. If you're using florist wire, it's come in cut lengths, so that's quite handy. I might not use that bit, it's got a bit of glue on it. I'll do it with this one. So I'm going to tie my bow, fasten it with my wire, and then I'm going to cut the other end off, so I'm not wasting any, and I get them the same length. And I'm going to cut a slight angle on it, so I get a point. I'll put those in there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And put that one as well. That's number 5. So I've got 5 red ones, and I will need to do one more Hessian one. So again, I'm going to cross it over and pull in the, pinch it in the middle, wrap it with the wire. Oh, and then I'm just going to trim that end to match. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bows. So they're going to go on the tips of my star. But because I mentioned this earlier, because I quite like this, if I can find the end, there's the end. I'm going to use some of this first because I'm going to wrap this round. They do get very tangled, these things. I might have to snip it if I can't untangle it. But I want to wrap it round I should have untangled it before I started, shouldn't I? I want to wrap it around my frame. I love untangling things. I could spend happy hours untangling. I used to work for a charity shop, and if we got jewellery donations in and they were tangled up, I used to love untangling them. No, it's sad, isn't it? Right, so I'm going to show you how we would secure this round. What's the end again? Do you know what? I shouldn't put it down, should I? There it is. I'm going to put the rest on dangling down off the table so that it doesn't get tangled again. So it's a simple matter of just securing it by just, well, taking advantage of the fact that it twists together. We'll just twist it together, and that I'll hold it, and then I'm just going to wind it round and form my point. Every so often, come off its cane, I will wire it with a little bit of the green wire. I haven't got much of this left. I've ordered some more and it hasn't come, so that's a bit disappointing. So this is the green florist wire we used last week. And every now and then I'm just going to wind it around a point to hold our beads in place. I might just snip that one and start again at another point. So you can see how it's adding a nice decoration, but it's not too in your face. If you prefer something a bit bolder, you could use tinsel at this point. I'm not a big fan of tinsel. And I have been given a lot of tinsel, so I might have to use it in my village hall displays. But I think on a wreath like this, tinsel might be just a bit too bold. So that's going round again, and then how am I going to do this? I'm going to cut it because that should do us. And then I'm going to go around there, I think. you just kind of feel your way with it, and then I shall wire it again there with a little bit of the silver. So I'm going to cross the two beads, ends of the beads over, and just give them a little bit of wire. Fasten that off. I don't know whether I can't actually see your comments at the moment. Let me just turn my tablet the other way so I can see your comments. Bear with me a second. If there's anybody there, you might not be there. Nope, can't see it. It'll come. I will actually try and answer your comments afterwards. So that's our first lot of decorations. It's quite subtle. So now I'm going to go with the bows. So I'm going to take one of my Hessian bows and one of my red ribbon bows, and I'm going to wire them together. I'm going to put the red one slightly below the Hessian, so you can see the two bits together, and then I'm going to wire them to my points. So the wires that are left over from the ribbon can be wrapped around your points. If you want, as a sort of extra bit, you can put a dab of glue underneath. So I may do that in a moment, but let me just finish putting these together. When you're fastening them, if you've got a shorter wire and a long, a shorter wire and a longer wire, then use the shorter wire, and then you've got the longer bit of wire for when you come to attach it to the wreath itself. I put my red bow on upside down then. So I'm going to have them all pointing inwards. Never thought about how to make them point, but if you save gluing bits on till you're finished completely, then if you change your mind, you can just unwire them. So that's the beauty of this, of using wire, is that it's not permanent. So that's another pair, and that's going to go on the end. And also the glue can come undone. I found that with one I've made. I left it at the village hall, and somebody must have been picking it up and having a look at it, and some of the baubles had fallen off. So glue and wire, belt and braces. Just turn that round, put that one on there. But as I say, don't glue anything until you're absolutely certain you like the layout, because you don't want it to, once it's glued, although I'm saying it might come off, it will take a bit of force to get it off. So you don't want to be ruining your little things you've made. So that's our last bow. There. So I'm quite pleased with that. That one's moving a little bit, but I will glue it on when I'm ready. There. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with it that way, because this crossover here is going to be the top. So we're getting there. Just pop that there while I have a rummage in here at what else we've got. Now, one of the things I sort of did before I came on air, I pulled apart I had one of this, which is like a little hanging ball with poinsettia and holly leaves and bits of gold on. So I pulled it apart and remade it to use the separate elements. So I rewired the tiny poinsettia flowers and a holly leaf together. I wired the holly leaf section and glued in the poinsettia bit, but that's just because there wasn't stems on my poinsettia. So we want 5 of those, and I've got 1, 2, 3, for four already. So I'll show you what I did with them. Push the other bits to one side. So that was my holly leaf bit and my poinsettia bit, and using the red wire again. So I wired up the green bits, pushed the wire through the hole in it, and give it a twist. So that's what I'm going to use to secure, but then I just put a little bit of glue in the centre of the holly and stuck in the poinsettia and left it to set for a minute. Now there are a few other bits of leaves left on here, so what I'm going to do is maybe wire up some other bits. I've got these gold berries, which are quite nice. I'm going to wire them in the same way. Short length of wire through the green leaves. I'm going to use these golden berries, so I'm going to put a bit of glue again and put the berries. I'll just have to leave that to set. And I have another set of golden berries, so I'll just do that very quickly. I've got glue everywhere now. Oh, it's getting tangled now. Has anybody got their Christmas decorations up yet? Ours aren't. I've been so busy. I've got a house full of recycle, I should say, Christmas decorations, because I've been sort of collecting point for the village hall donations of people been donating to us, and I've been the sort of central collection point. So I've got a house full of old Christmas baubles. Right, so those are our little flower bits. Also got in here some red and gold little baubles. These are handily ready wired, so whoever has donated them to me had already got wires on them, so that's great. So I've got a couple of red ones. I've got a gold one here. I might use a bit stronger wire for that one. I'm just going to wire it through the, oh no, not, because that's not very secure. I'll maybe just glue that on. Some of them you have to just sort of like suck it and see almost. This is a little bell, and it's got a nice metal bit that you can wire up. So I will wire that one, and one's a green wires. That's a little bit thicker than the other wire. So that's a bell. I've got another bell here, similar. So I'll do the same with that. Leaving lots of wire for when I come to put them on my wreath. So I'm building up quite a few in there now. I had got these, but I'm not sure if they might be a bit big. I will put them to one side because I might use them. I'm not sure what to do with that bell yet. Now these ones that are like little presents, again I'm going to probably glue them on. I've got a little tartan one, so that can go on it as well. I think that's just about it. So glue gun at the ready, back to our wreath, and we start to, this is the top, we can start to place our other bits and see how we like them. So I've got the little flowers. I might put them kind of, I'll take those off for now, one on each point. You can see I like to be symmetrical. It's going to all fall apart shortly because some of them I've only got one or two, and I'm going to have to be a little bit more random. I don't do random. Put the gold berries. There and there. I want to put these bells on because that'll be nice. That'll be nice. Make a nice sound. So I'll put that there. And that one there. Again, I'm just roughly placing them till I've decided that I like that arrangement, and then I will glue them. What have I got left? Got that one and that one. I'll put the bigger ones there in the centre, and the final touch is going to be, and I forgot where I put it now, that little angel. You know, I've only got a tiny workspace, and I'm oh, there it is. I might have that in the middle. So I know you're looking at it upside down, but what do you think? I think that looks fine. So I'm now ready to start attaching. Now that means taking everything off again and hopefully remembering where it goes, because once you start fiddling with wires, things will drop off, and then I'll move. Right, I'll go with starting with the flowers, because I know they're going in a regular spot. Okay, so I am going to glue my ribbons on as I go, because I'm quite happy with the ribbons. I'm going to put my wire through where I want my flower to go. Hopefully it'll come out the other side. It's not, it's all bending. Put my finger through, there we go. And then wire it round. So you just wire it round one of the pieces of the cane base we used. So that's the first one. Some of my other things are dropping off as I go, but as I say, I'm going to go around with the glue gun and get them glued on. So that's the next one. I'm going to wire it at the back so my wires are out of sight. Can't see where the wires disappeared to now. I've got your comments now. So while I'm doing this, I'll say a few hellos. So I've got Sue, Gloria, Kathleen. Good morning, everybody. Glad you're watching. Hope you're enjoying this. If you make your own, then do send us pictures. We do love to see your work. You've seen the messy back of mine now. Right, I'm going to go round. My glue's warmed up now. I'm going to go around and start sticking on the ribbons that I've wired on that are all dropping off now. So do be careful if you've used plastic greenery, just in the fact that the glue's very hot and you don't really want to it to melt the plastic really. My glue stick has got a little bit, there we go. Sometimes it takes a little while for it to feed through the new stick. and be careful of your fingers. I did a workshop at home this weekend and burnt my finger and got a really quite a big blister on it from the glue, because I get a bit impatient and then I forget that it's very, very hot. Feeding that in quite yet. I do love my glue gun though. My cordless glue gun is the best thing I've ever bought craft-wise. It's so much easier than trying to battle against the wires. Except it's just not quite cooperating today. Right, so I'm now gonna just put a little bit under. We'll leave the glue until later. It's not quite cooperating, it's run out of charge. I'm saying what a wonderful thing it is, my glue gun, but it isn't today. Right, so I'll carry on with my flowers. I may have to resort to some glue dots later. And the last one is going in there. Tuck that piece of greenery in. It seems to have bent up a little bit. Is everybody enjoying it so far? It's quite quiet out there. Sometimes I think I get a lot of watchers who are just watching quietly. But if you want to say hello, please say hello. Right. So we're getting there. We've got our flowers on. Next I did golden berries. So they're going there. I'm just going to wire these on now because obviously my glue's kind of given up the ghost. I'll put the other one over here. Actually, if you are putting them in the middle bit, it is a little bit easier to wrap the wires around because we do have it open there. What was next? Bells. Now, where did I say that? I said that was the top, didn't I? It's going to hang that way. So I'm going to put the bells at the bottom so that they will jingle. See, this is what I said about not gluing it on straight away, because you change your mind as you go along. I'll put one bell there and I'll put one bell at the other side. In fact, I'm not. I'm going to put them both there, hanging together at the bottom of it. And because they're on a wire, you can sort of bring them so they will jingle. Yeah. Right, I've got the red baubles, which are going to go there. Again, I've got these on. These were already very handily on a wire, so they can go in there. And I'll put this one at the other side. And now the presents will need gluing on, so I'm going to just bear with me a second. I'm going to see if I can find some glue dots. So the glue dots seem to have escaped as well. So I've got some double-sided tape. This is only a temporary measure. I will come back and wire and glue these properly. But the double-sided tape will do for now. So where was my top again? That was the top. So I'm going to put these, one there and one at the other side. My nails are very short at the moment, so I'm struggling with the peeling off the back of the glue, the double-sided tape. I knew I should have prepared this earlier. Oh well, we're going to just that last. There we go. I might put that one there. Do you know, I don't think it needs that one after all that. Irene is to join me. Irene joins me quite regularly. She's going to watch and catch up later. I think I will just put this little tartan present on. If I can peel off the glue. Peel back enough. If you struggle with this kind of thing, sometimes a craft knife helps, you know, like a scalpel. I've just been joined by my little doggy. It's wandering about, wondering who I'm talking to. So I'm going to put that one on that side. Now the final thing, I think, is going to be this lovely little angel. And I think I'm going to put her there. And again, I'm going to just use some double-sided tape for now. So the last thing that I'll need to do is hang it with, put a hanger on it. I usually use ribbon. I'm just going to cut that off that. So I might use the Hessian ribbon because I quite like that. And I don't know whether I've got a long piece of red ribbon that'll be long enough to hang it with. This one isn't going to the village hall because the real village hall, I should say, qualify that, because it's a little bit small. The ones we're doing there are quite big, but this one might go to my lovely sister-in-law in Scotland, who is the usual recipient of my various efforts. So I'm going to cut off a long piece of this ribbon, so about 2 feet, to make the hanger, and I'm going to fold it in half, carefully feed it through. I'll show you on the back. I'm going to feed it around the cane back because that's the most secure bit of it, and I'm going to just feed the loop, the 2 ends through like that, and pull it tight, and that's my hanger. What you might want to do is just put a dot of glue. Sorry, you've gone out of my sight. Dot of glue there, just so it stays upright, and we're done. I'm very pleased with that. Can you see? What do you think? Let me know in the comments what you think. But that, I think that's quite nice for nearly 90% of it being upcycled. Lovely star-shaped wreath. Now, just let me turn you back up again. So you can see me. So how do you think that went? Do you like that? Are you going to have a go? Shall I bring it a bit closer so you can see a bit more detail? I like the red and gold. I've always liked red and gold, and green, obviously. I'm quite pleased with that. That will be winging its way probably to Scotland. She won't know about it because she doesn't do Facebook. My little fairy's dropped off, but I will glue that back on. Let me put that back on. It's got a kind of, I think it's got a kind of folk arty feel. She doesn't want to stay on. She just doesn't like it. When I get the glue and the wire. Right, so that is our wreath finished. I've got 2 more sessions before Christmas. I'm going to be doing 2 more Christmas crafts, quite quick things for you to do, things that you might be able to do with the children over the Christmas holidays. But that is me done. Taken up all my time. I will catch you again in December. So enjoy and let's see if you make a wreath.